Today I'm out here in Perris, California. We're at a construction site for a warehouse building that's over 375,000 square feet. I want to cover with you some of the things that Empire was able to do in this building for a third-party logistics company that hired us to get all the low voltage systems installed. I'll start off with the office area, which is pretty small. And what we did in here is a structured cabling system. So if you notice, there's going to be cubicles throughout this area. What we've done is ran Cat6 cabling to all of these areas where they're going to have people working and their workstations. We've labeled all of the drops, which correspond with the patch panel in the MDF. We've also installed a wireless network. So you'll notice up here in the ceiling, we've got some wireless APs. Here's one right here. That's also labeled for the client. We've also put in a camera here to cover the front lobby. We actually have a couple of cameras in here. I think there's 3 total. And then all of it gets wired back to a central location here in the office, which we're using as our MDF. So we're still in the progress of getting all of this installed, but basically you're gonna notice here that we've got some fiber cabling. That fiber cabling leaves this office area and goes out into the remote areas of the building for all of the IDFs. We also have all the Cat6 cabling going to a patch panel. We're getting ready to patch that into the switch after we get some cable management installed. And then we also have all of the network gear, all of the switch gear, and the UPS that the client's gonna need to operate this network properly. In addition to that MDF cabinet there, we have the alarm panel, which is right next to it. In this building, we have over 50 different zones. Most of them are wireless, and they're all connecting back to that main panel, which is connected to our monitoring center so we can do some central monitoring of this location after the install. Now we're in the warehouse. There's over 375,000 square feet in here. In order to cover this warehouse with network and security systems, we have to first build out a fiber network with what are called IDFs, or intermediate distribution frames. We'll show you those later, but those connect back via a fiber cable to the MDF, which we showed you earlier. Show you something. So these plans right here actually mark out where these IDFs are. And sometimes we place them strategically so we can save the customer money. In this case, for example, we have them placed on the poles inside the interior of the warehouse rather than on the exterior walls. There's benefits, there's pros and cons to each method. In this case, we wanted to save the customer some money, so we went with the poles. And so I'm gonna take you to the first one over here at the far part of the warehouse. Right now, we're standing at IDF 1. This is the furthest IDF from the office. This IDF is connected via a 6-strand fiber that connects all the way back to the office. It's over 1,000 feet from the office. And what this IDF allows us to do is connect the various cameras, access control doors, wireless access points, computers, phones, printers, whatever needs to connect to the network will get connected in this part of the building, will get connected to this IDF. We're gonna head up there and show you what it looks like up there. So now we're at the IDF. Again, this is an extension of the network. It's gonna look very similar to the MDF. Inside here, we have our network switch. This network switch is gonna get patched in via a patch cord like this one to our fiber panel. Our fiber panel then takes us all the way back to the MDF, or the main distribution frame. Again, what this allows us to do, and you'll notice with this labeling here, it allows us to connect the various access points in this building, but especially on this side of the building, in this area of the building. We have over 75 access points in this building. And so having an IDF like this allows us to connect all those various access points. You're also gonna see labeling for cameras and labeling for standard data drops that they're gonna use out in the warehouse for their packing stations. I'll open up the back of the IDF. You'll notice all the Cat6 cable is nicely dressed in, comes in and is punched down on the back of the patch panel and then labeled. We don't have a UPS in here yet, but there will be a UPS installed at the bottom of this cabinet, which will allow us to provide backup power along with surge protection for our switches. This yellow cable is an armored fiber cable. This is a 6-strand armored single mode fiber, and the armor allows us to give the fiber more protection. Again, fiber is optical. It's actually made out of glass, and so it is fragile. In an industrial environment like this, it's always nice to have more protection with an armored jacket like this one. So if you'll notice, there's also an alarm panel underneath here. This is an extension of the alarm system. Just like the IDF is an extension of the network, it allows us to connect zones, specifically wired zones, to the alarm system out here in this area of the building that's over 1,000 feet away from the main alarm panel. One of the other things we have to remember about IDF cabinets is they still need power. And so in a big building like this one, we have to give power, like this power outlet, installed right near the cabinet. There's a lot of work that goes into getting power out here into this part of the building, but Empire can help you design and install the electrical outlet that's needed for this IDF. In this building, again, it's 375,000 square feet. We needed 75 APs in order to cover this building. And the reason for that is we're gonna have racking in this building. The customer's gonna come in after we're done and install all of that racking. The racking creates a huge obstruction for wireless. It's made out of metal. It's a high attenuator to the wireless signal. And so we have to have a lot of APs in the right positions. When we started out with this client, we went to the drawing board, we took measurements of everything, and we designed a wireless network that would allow the customer to still install the racking, but get great comprehensive wireless coverage in this large warehouse. Taking you up right now to one of these 360-degree cameras that we installed in here. We have over 26 of these in this building. This camera right here is a 5 megapixel, but we also offer 6, 12, I believe there's even more higher megapixel cameras coming out that we're gonna be offering as well. These cameras right here, again, look in every direction. And what they do is give the customer a really high level overview of this area. These aren't great cameras for covering a choke point where you need high detail, but they are great mounted up high like this to cover a real wide open area. Having an alarm system in a building like this is important, especially for this customer who won't be housing their own product in this building, but actually their customer's product. And so their customers are depending on this building to be secure and safe. And that's what the alarm system does for this customer. So the final result for this project is we're done early. We're about a week early. We're ready to hand this building over to the customer, and they're ready to be operational. They have a security system that's connected to our monitoring center. They can bring the customer's product in here and be assured that this building is going to be secured. They also have a camera system that's going to record for them. They have a fully functional wireless network and structured cabling network. They're ready to come in here and operate. We also were able to get it done on budget. We didn't have any unforeseen change orders or anything that cost the customer extra. In the end, they're going to be able to avoid tons of headaches because we got this project installed properly. There's a quality install here. We've quality checked it, and they're ready to go and avoid headaches down the road. If you're looking for the same results in your project, give us a call today and we'll start the process for you.